Hey there, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of our podcast. It's been a little while since the first one. I apologize for that, but today I think you'll forgive me because we've got a cool guest on. He runs a channel on YouTube called Just2Good. He talks about Legos. He runs a podcast where he's had people on like I Hate Everything, Jaden Animations, and Your Movie Sucks. So today we'll talk about some toys, some podcasting, some wherever this goes. How are you doing, Just2Good?
Yeah. It's a pleasure to be on. Thank you very much. It's especially following Emp, which is just, he's a great channel. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll just jump right into the nitty gritty here. So what got you initially into Lego, and then when did that lead into the whole YouTube thing? Because you seem like you've got quite a collection going on. You're really on top of that news. So how did that all start?
Yeah, it really, when I was younger, just got them as gifts, and it was something that I used to play with the family. So it has that emotional connection to me. It's always had that emotional connection. But as I got older, around 2008, I discovered the Lego fan community online, and I was an active member. I took a little break, and then I came back. And around the time I came back, I started watching more Lego reviews, because back in around like 2008, 2009, there wasn't much Lego reviewers. There was like one Lego reviewer and then a whole bunch of brick filmers. But then when I came back, there was a whole bunch of Lego reviewers and then not much brick filmers. So I was like, oh, this is something I could do. I always wanted to express my opinion of Lego set, but I never had the right venue to do it, because I'm not really the best at writing reviews specifically. But it just kind of evolved from a review channel to I started doing Lego news and Lego hauls, and then it's just everything. We have the Just2 podcast, which you mentioned. It's something I really want to grow, and we've done so many other types of videos now too. It's something I'm very proud of in general.
Yeah, and do you remember what any of those first early sets that you got as gifts that initially got you hooked? Because I feel like that's almost what everybody, at least when I think back to my experiences with Lego, that's what I love thinking back to, is those first early ones. There's almost something extra special about those.
Yeah, I'm not sure what my first ever one was. It was probably some Duplo one, which Duplo is the bigger Lego bricks, but definitely some of the early ones I had were the Lego Studios Temple of Gloom, which was this little set that you could pull the underneath part, and it has all the steps fall. Some of the Jurassic Park 3 sets, and some of the Lego, I guess a little bit later, Lego Orient Expedition sets were some early ones. Lego Island Extreme Stunts were early ones. Life on Mars were some of the early ones. So yeah.
And I remember, because I listened to your podcast where you talked to Alex from I Hate Everything, and he mentioned that when he started collecting, he was sort of had a similar story where he got some as gifts, but then he said around 14 or 15 he sort of stopped doing it because he felt like that's not what socially is expected of 14 to 15 year olds, and then he rediscovered it. Is that something you did, or are you a true Lego fan all the way through, a true brick fan?
I've only really took a break from Lego once, which was from 2010 to it was 2010 to, might have even been to 2012, I think. I usually have it off the top. Well, not to 2012, to 2011. Yeah, it was a year. Okay. And that was just because I don't know, I just took a break from it. It wasn't a social thing. I don't care what other people think. In school or whatever. I always just, people thought Lego was cool. I don't think anybody's ever made fun of me about my Lego, and if they ever had, I had a retort, and I would roast them instead. Because come on, Lego at this age is cool. I think a lot of adults like Lego now, which is great, because the Lego movie was a fantastic movie. The sets are great. The only downside I hear is that Lego is expensive, which is a fair argument. That's the only thing. That's the only diss I'll ever hear about
That's
Lego.
why I haven't bought any sets in a while.
Yeah.
And
it is expensive. Yeah.
With buying sets, did you start buying more sets as you got into sort of the YouTube game? And I assume that you probably started making a net profit off of buying a set, and if you reviewed it, am I right with that? Or
yeah, definitely with YouTube, I started trying to be the first to review a set and everything. And I still try to do that. A little bit more lenient about that, but yeah, it was the early days. It was harsh, because I would go out of my way to get the set first. I would always care about reviewing the set first. And so
Yeah.
I would end up buying some sets just to review them. And today I still do it where I'll buy some sets because I know my fans want to see like a review of it. And it always makes its money back if it's like a new review. As long as it's not too obscure or too unconventional with theme, it'll always make the money back. So I'm happy about that for sure.
And do you keep most of these sets in like some giant collection, or do you ever buy one and then sell it off or like return it afterwards? Because I know some reviewers on YouTube will do things like that.
Yeah, I've never sold a Lego set in my life. I've never ever
Nice.
sold. So I keep everything except the ones I donate. And I only donate sealed sets that I have extra ones of. So I have all just Lego everywhere. Every house I have Lego. And I gotta take them apart. But yeah,
how is this set, or how is this collection organized? Like, how big is this? Are we talking? Because I've seen a lot of your videos. There might be a video that I haven't seen where you've showed this off, so I may just be covering.
I haven't shown
that
it off
your
for a
fans
while. To be fair, you're good.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what is that process like? Keeping track of all of these things? Do you keep them all like sort of organized, or is it just like here's a room and then there's just boxes everywhere?
It's like my room just has Lego boxes everywhere. But really it depends because I'll have phases where I clean them up, and then I'll clean them up usually before the next season, because there's like 2 big seasons for Lego. There's literally this time of the year, like from late November to early January, and then there's the summer, which is like June to August, sort of, and then they have like fall, which is a smaller season for Lego, spring, which is a smaller season for Lego. So around winter, like January, I'll clean up everything and it'll be clean, and then in summer it'll come back to being dirty. Where Lego's just everywhere. But yeah, I have the cool Lego displayed. Where I'm at now, I actually have just every Lego displayed because I don't have time to really take them apart because there's just been so many sets this season. So I got to take some of them apart and then keep the ones that I like still displayed. And yeah, it's really a mess. it's a messy lifestyle, but you know.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. And when you put these videos up, because right now I think you're sitting around 300k subscribers on YouTube, right? Some of your videos have like millions of views. But did you see, once you started reviewing Lego, was it sort of like this spike up to where you are now, or was there a moment where it spiked up, or is it this gradual climb to sort of being one of the at least biggest people on YouTube when it comes to Lego?
Yeah, it was definitely, there was moments. We're in sort of a spike up now, I think. But for a lot of channels, November and December is just not only a spike for revenue, but a spike for subscribers and everything, because it's when a lot of kids are off and such. But there's definitely a point, like the first spike I've ever noticed was like I think it was in 2012. I started my channel March, or January, and in like May, I had this video. Well, my first video was actually kind of a hit, because it was like I found these Lego sets early, and I did a video about it. And I had a bigger hit in May because I found a picture of like the Lego Spider-Man set, and it was the first Lego Spider-Man set for like 8 years. So I found that, and that was my first little spike. And then my first real spike was like, I think it was December 2015. I did a top 10 list, and I had never seen Lego top 10 list. I mean, I'm sure there were some, but like I think some other TTV did a little bit of top 10 list, but I never seen a top 10 list like how I like it. And I genuinely like top 10 lists. Like, I know a lot of people make fun of top 10 list videos, but I love watching them. I love seeing stuff about them. Yeah. And there was one, I made my first one on my channel in December 2015, and it was just getting so many views. Like, it was getting more views than I've ever seen any video get views. And I made another one later. It was the top 10 canceled, which was later that month, and it was getting so many views as well. And for the 2015 to like 2016, every time I made a top 10 list, there would just be a huge spike of views. Another thing I did was every Lego minifigure pack opening ever, where I would open up every pack of Lego minifigures, and I do this once a year now. And those would just get insane amounts of views. I remember the second one was so successful, and it sucked because there was a glitch that it wasn't monetized the first week.
Like a glitch, or did the content ID or some sort of YouTube system hit you, or is it like a true glitch where
it was a true glitch? It was a true glitch where, I don't know, they stopped doing this like I think that was 2016. So they stopped doing this like early 2017 or late 2016, where you would monetize a long video, and for some reason when you press monetize, it would not monetize. So I just assumed it was monetized, and I guess I didn't see it. I didn't see that it wasn't monetized. I don't know how I didn't see it. Maybe the layout was different. So I didn't know it was monetized for like the first 5 days or so. And the amount of views that video got, I think were like the most views I've ever gotten on a video in like the first 5 days. Because it was like 300,000 in like the first 5 days, which was a lot for me. And
yeah,
I made no money off of it for those days. And I was like, darn it, come on. Like I didn't even know. I could have made so much money off of it, but it's whatever, you know, it still got so many subscribers and views, so I was happy about it. And I was very proud about that video. It took a lot of effort to make, so yeah, those were a few spikes, but yeah.
And when you're trying to come up with these topics that you think will hit big with the Lego community, explain to a Lego casual like me. I have a casual interest in Lego, but I guess I'm not an expert. How do you go about choosing a set or trying to make sure you're the first one to get it? Like, I guess break that down for me. What does that process look like?
Yeah, well, for topics, like my top 10 list, it's hard to think of unique topics. Like that first year, 2015 and 2016, and even 2017, the design, like when I would think of a top 10 list to make, it would be like easier because I had all these ideas. The creepiest Lego sets, the most violent Lego sets, like these ideas that I've seen on other genres that I would just apply to Lego, like because it was fun because I always think of these things. Canceled Lego sets was another one where it's just like I love canceled media, I love lost media, so let me just apply this to Lego because nobody ever talks about this. And there was like Lego controversies. Okay, I like seeing controversies of like kids products, let's see it with Lego. So those were easy, but after that it started becoming very, very niche. So like this year I think some of my top 10 lists were like top 10 pieces that Lego used for minifigures that are retired, that like I have to think outside the box really now for those top 10 ideas. But for like Lego set reviews, it's just whatever's new or whatever I get off of eBay that's old that I really wanted. So I'm like, okay, could review this. So those are easier to get ideas for because it's just, okay, this is what's new or this is what's cool that's old. But yeah.
And I've seen you talk about like your hauls or what you're buying and sometimes reviewing. Do you try and get everything or do you usually get the things that interest you and hope that your viewers are interested in that as well?
It's definitely the stuff that interests me. That's always been something where I wouldn't make a video unless it's a video I would watch. So that's what I always think about when making videos. With Lego sets, it's a little bit more lenient because if it's a theme that interests me, I'll get it. Like, let's say I find a set for Lego Movie early. Even if I don't want the set and I find it early, I'll get it because I like the Lego Movie, so it's whatever. But if I find like a Technic set early, which is a theme I don't care for, I wouldn't buy it because the theme doesn't interest me. But as long as it has minifigures in it, I will most likely get it early because I love minifigures. So yeah,
I'm the same. I know there's like a fad right now, the pop figures, where it's like sort of all these things in the same style, and I think those are cool. But personally, I like Lego minifigures because you can actually like do something with them. They have like they're cool looking, they're all the same style, and there's a purpose to them.
I totally agree because like with Pops, it's a scare that they might be the next Beanie Babies where nobody wants them and they're just a one-piece thing. But with Lego will always be around. So even if in 20 years, let's say they just released like Overwatch sets, if Tracer isn't a popular figure, at least she has an interesting headpiece you could use for your own custom minifigures, or an interesting hairpiece you could use for your own custom minifigures.
Right.
But yeah.
And with all these, one of the things, I guess we'll get to it later, but we have some people from our Patreon channel sending in questions, and one of the probably top questions that I guess I'll throw in now is, do you have a favorite set of minifigures or a least favorite set of minifigures that you wish you could just delete off the earth?
Definitely for some favorite minifigures, I did a video about this a while back. Like this was like 2016, so let me think. Definitely the bug that's on my profile.
Twitch, right? I looked it up. What's he from? Because I think it's from like Disney, right? But
that's the thing that sucks. He's owned by Disney. He's from Toy Story 3. Very small role. It's just that the minifigure, they didn't do like minifigures on small role characters for Toy Story except him. And I didn't associate him with the role. I just associate with him because he's a really cool, detailed figure. So I need to get a new signature figure, as they call it, sig fig. But that's my favorite minifigure. I just love the detailing on him. Also, he means a lot to me because I used him even before the channel for my profiles online in the Lego community. So, yeah. But some of my other favorite figures are ones that are nostalgic to me, like the old Johnny Thunder, which he was like the action hero of Lego, and they even brought him back for a Lego movie set back in the day. So that was that's one of my favorites. Pepperoni from Lego Island, like they released him. He's a really cool figure. Like the Back to the Future figures were cool, stuff like that. I don't really have least favorites off the top of my head. One day I'll probably make a video about that.
The top 10 worst. Have
Top
you
10
not
worst.
done top 10 worst yet?
I don't think I've done any top 10 worst. The only one I did
stay on
was
Lego's good side.
Yeah, no, it's because I there's it's so hard to think of the worst. Like, to me, I like when a top 10 video they own the thing, or if they've watched the thing. Like, this is something, if you know your movie sucks, he only makes top 10s where he has watched all of these films for the year, so it takes him a while to make it. And so for me, I feel like if I want to make the worst sets, I want to own every set that I think is bad. So that's why it's hard to make, because I can't, like, it's the same with top 10 Star Wars sets. Like, I've never done that, would be so popular, but I feel like I don't own most of the sets that would be on the list, so I can't make the top 10 about it, legitimately.
Well, those are where they get super expensive, right? Like, just the other day I was at a mall and I wandered into the Lego store just out of curiosity, and there's like an $800 Millennium Falcon right now, right?
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah,
how long has that been around for?
It's been out since 2017. I think it was last year, 2017. It feels like a long time ago, but yeah, that is still currently the biggest set ever. But
do you have that one?
I don't actually have that one. No, I'll get it eventually, but I don't know how long.
That's on the to-do list.
Yeah, I mean, it's the last one was the last one lasted online, like on the shop, for around 10 years. Well, not 10 years, probably like 7 years. So I have a long time to find it,
Right. And I guess to pivot,
it's just expensive.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, yeah, it's just super expensive, but yeah.
Yeah. So I think most of my viewers now, I think we're about at the 20-minute mark, and they'll probably start jumping down my throat. They want to hear about the internet. They want to hear about some memes. So I'm going to transition over here. When did you decide to transition from the Just2Good channel from Lego to sort of collaborating with different YouTubers on your podcast? And you have even like crazier guests, like you had your ex-girlfriend on once. I listened to that one. That was a funny episode. I know there's a lot of YouTubers, and it's cool, a bunch of people seem connected by Lego, but when did you sort of come up with that in your head, and when did that become executed?
Yeah, it was for sure the Just2 podcast. I love podcasts, and I always listen to podcasts. Your podcast is promising, I want to hear more of it.
Well, thank you.
No problem. So I've always wanted to do a podcast, and I have so many ideas for podcasts. I have ideas for more podcasts that maybe in the future I'll do, just crazy ideas, but I never knew what podcast to do. So last year I was like, I always had this idea of doing a podcast where I talk to guests about Lego, famous people I like, and about Lego, because I want to see. Whenever a famous person or a YouTuber or whatever mentions Lego, I always want to know more about it. I want to say, did you buy a set recently? So I always had that idea, but I didn't know how to execute it. So I was like, the Just2 podcast. It'll be just two of us talking about Lego. Okay, that's it. So I hit up Pan Pizza, Rebel Taxi. I think this was after we did our we collaborated a little bit, because I was on his podcast, and we were talking about the Lego Ninjago movie. So we were still in contact then, and I was like, hey, you want to be on my podcast? I'm starting it next week. And I said this without even thinking about how to start it or anything, and he was like, sure. And I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta get cracking on this. So I did that one, and that one was, it was such a fun experience to do. So one thing I saw was that people were like, we want to see Lego people too. So I think the next one after that might have been a Lego person. Yeah, the next two after that were Lego people. And then I'd do like two famous YouTubers, then two famous Lego YouTubers or whatnot, and we'd alternate. And I don't know if I still have that pattern, but it was just something I really always wanted to do, and I was glad that I finally got the opportunity to do it. But at this point, I still want to do it, and I still will do it. It's just in a hiatus because everybody I contact doesn't reply. They're like I was shooting for getting Critical on. Critical was supposed to be the December one. Like, I was gonna have one last one for season 1, and I could not get a hold of him. I even had some of his friends; they couldn't get a hold of him to do this. I tried getting Ashens, if you know who Ashens is. I could not get a hold of him either. So yeah, I mean, it was worth a shot. I almost had Mumkey Jones on, but hopefully,
like, not gonna happen
YouTube
anymore.
Yeah, YouTube would take down my channel, and I think I love his videos and stuff, but you know, it's not it. Like, I do non-kid friendly stuff, but his are pretty extreme, so I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, and I know you always ask your guests when they come on if their channels are kid friendly. Would you consider yours to be?
Yeah, for sure. I try. I mean, I've said like damn and ass, but that's probably the worst I've said. And even that I said it like once in a video. Like it wouldn't slip, but it will be for a like if I say that, it's for something meaningful. Like, I was really ticked off at Lego once, so I said that, and I think I was ticked off at some subscription box or something, and I said that. And you know, I always try to make my content PG because I like having a channel that everybody could watch, because you know, if it doesn't need to have swearing or any sexual content or something, you know, why put it in there?
Yeah. And do you see that as sort of an extension of your personality, or is that just for the YouTube? You sort of consciously
that's just for YouTube. That's just for YouTube, and it comes from a genuine place, because you know, when YouTubers swear for no reason, like for me, it's like sometimes it can get really annoying, sometimes it's comical. So yeah, but like in real life, I don't have the most clean mouth or stuff like that. It's just for the YouTube thing. But you know, I know a lot of kids love Lego, so you know, I don't need to swear. I want to be a good influence,
right? And when you try, because just hopping back a second to when you were talking about trying to get people on, for the people that you did get on, what was the process like? Because that's one thing I think we sort of share in common for our magazine. We've had some people that I'm proud of that we've got to interview. We've also been ghosted by a lot of people. So I'm just curious to see what your process is when you're reaching out to these people. How does that usually go? And, you know, it seems like you've kept in contact with Alex from I Hate Everything, because I've seen that you guys have done a video after that where he was on your regular channel. I guess any interesting stories from that whole process?
Yeah, it like for a lot of the guests, unfortunately, we don't keep in contact, because having them on the show is already enough for me to, like, I don't want to come off as annoying, you know, where it's like, hey, you know, because I know maybe not a lot of them are my friends per se. Through all of them, I've never had a bad guest on there. I love all of them, are great people. But yeah, for Alex though, like, he likes Lego, so it just was a thing where I contacted him a lot. Like, after that, I was like, hey, you want to do this with me? And so I've had him on different, you know, like I had him on my friend's podcast as well. And so, yeah, we don't keep in contact like every day, but I would consider him a friend for sure. He's a very nice person. Really, the process would be, let me see where their email is. I'll shoot them an email and just introduce what the podcast is about and see if they're ready to go. And at first, I used to always get responses. Now it's harder to get guests, which is weird because, I don't know.
Do you think that's just a function of there's so many people on YouTube, probably more people reaching out to them? Or, I don't know, what do you think that's due to?
That is, yeah, that's probably it. And it's weird. I'm so amazed I got the Jaden on, because Jaden, the only podcast she's ever done, the only interview she's ever done was mine. So I have no idea how I got that on, but she is she is such a nice person. I haven't talked to her since the podcast, but she was so nice on the podcast, because she was just super kind, and she like entertained the guests while I was gone because my internet was out or something.
Yeah, it was there's great. Like a storm that blew through, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was not a good timing to record that, but she was great about it, and yeah.
Yeah, and so you just, when you go looking for these people's emails, the way Meme Insider does it, we go the super basic route. We go to their channel, we see what their work email is, if there's one listed. If not, we'll go to Twitter. We literally just look at what's available. Is that the sort of snooping around that you do as well, or do you have smarter ways than we do?
Yeah, no, that's it, because I don't want to like find their personal address, like email or something, and send them their LinkedIn or whatever. But I'll do work emails. There was one, I was trying to get Justin Roiland on, which I don't think he's kid friendly either. He did Rick and Morty, like he's the creator of Rick and Morty, co-creator. But he loves Lego, so I was like, he would be a really good guest because he really likes Lego. Like even in one of his tweets, he used a thumbnail from one of my videos to talk about a Lego set. And I was like, wow.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. Like he did. What was that?
So do you think he's watched you, or do you think that was something you saw on
Maybe.
Google Images?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I have no clue. But it was crazy because I'm like, that's my thumbnail. Oh my gosh. But what I did was I went on Royland TV or like his site, and I sent him a message there, and unfortunately, like a few days later, I got like an automated response that this email is out of order or whatever. So I was like, crap. And I tried some other way, and it just did not work. So maybe one day I'll get him on. He's a dream guest because Rick and Morty is a great show. Memes aside, I know it's meme to death. The community might not be that good, but that's a great show, and he loves Lego, and he's I like his animations and stuff like that. But yeah.
Oh yeah, those early ones are classic. Do you have?
Yeah, they are.
You were talking about. You mentioned both Critical and Justin Roiland. Do you have like a top like I need this person to be on my podcast? Do you have that sort of the white whale you're going after?
Yeah, I mean, for YouTube and like internet stars and stuff like that, I mean, Justin Roiland is probably the most that I want, like, because it would be crazy to get him on. I'm trying to think. There has been some. Well, like I messaged H3 a few times because they have, like, at one point they had Lego sets in their background, and I was like, oh crud, like I want to get them on because they must like Lego. But a lot of them I've already done, like Your Movie Sucks. I love him. He was the first like, I think when I got him on, he had like 700,000, so he was a huge YouTuber, and I was so amazed that I actually was getting him on. I Hate Everything was another one because I knew he liked Lego, because like Kite Man and everything like that. He made like a post about Lego Kite Man, and he showed his stuff in a video, so I wanted to get him on. Jaden Animations was one where I wanted on because my friend loves Jaden, and it was more like a dare, like you could never get Jaden on. I was like, you wait. I'm trying to think of other ones. It was cool to get Ralph the Movie Maker on just to complete that trio of them, and of course Rebel Taxi because he's such a cool YouTuber, one of my favorites. But yeah, I'm trying to think. At this point, it's just like Actions because he does toy reviews and knockoff toy reviews, and I know he loves Lego. At one point, it was like the Nostalgia Critic or whatever, Doug Walker. Yes. But he's what was that?
I was gonna say, just for the kicks and giggles of it, I would like to see him talk about Lego still.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's done some, like, I don't watch his new Nostalgia Critic reviews or whatever, but like, he's such an interesting character. It would be crazy to get him. There's some like that I've been afraid to ask, like Rocco Bodie from Mega 64, if you know who they are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love Rocco, and I know he doesn't like Lego. Like, he specifically says Lego isn't his thing, but he loves toys. So, but I'm like so intimidated to talk to him. Like, I don't know what to say because he's such a character.
Yeah, you should lean into that angle. Be like, I'm gonna force you to talk about, like, we're going to have a fight
right?
about Legos.
Yeah,
I record it for
man,
the internet
honestly,
to see.
Yeah, probably next year. I think I will definitely, because it is an interesting angle and stuff like that. But it's just, oh man, I love Mega 64. I'm trying to think of some other ones, like for celebrities, just Weird Al, because I love Weird Al Yankovic. Like, he's my favorite musician. I'm trying to think of some other ones. PewDiePie, I guess. I mean, like, big names like that. iDubbbz, like.
Oh, iDubbbz. I feel like iDubbbz would have some interesting opinions about Lego that nobody would have expected. I don't know why I get that feel, but I feel like he's got some opinion on Lego.
Yeah, he has an opinion on everything. I mean, I definitely, but like, those are like dreams. I don't know if I could ever get those on. I mean, Jaden was a dream one, and somehow I got her, so who knows what the future will hold.
We reached out to Jaden after the whole YouTube Rewind thing happened because we were curious to know just if that was something she had planned to, like, sneak PewDiePie in because she knew he wasn't going to be in, or if that was just like, there's a story there. I want to hear it, but that's it's great that you got her on. It's on.
Oh, so she hasn't responded to your stuff yet?
Not yet.
I will say this: she responded to mine like 5 months after I sent it.
Yeah, that's 5 months later. We'll talk about YouTube Rewind.
Yeah, or I think I sent one 5 months, and I sent one like a month before she responded, and she's like, "Oh, I saw your messages, and I just have been busy." She's busy, so yeah. Hopefully she does get to you guys though. That would be interesting. I would love to see that. But
yeah. How long does it usually take for people to respond to you? Because like we've gone over, you've had some pretty big people come on your podcast.
Yeah, it depends. I Hate Everything was one where he didn't respond to mine until he commented on one of my friend's videos. Because I sent him messages all the time, emails, and he never responded. And he commented on one of my buddies in the LEGO YouTube community. His name's M&R Productions. He commented on his video. And so I'm like, he's an M&R Productions fan, but he's not my fan or whatever, just jokingly. But I'm like, okay, now I just got to tweet at him. And I'm like, yo, I saw you comment on M&R Productions thing. You want to interview or whatever? And then he responded after that. So that took a while because that was after 5 months after my initial emails. And Your Movie Sucks, he was it was a day after. Adam from Your Movie Sucks, he goes on so many interviews and everything. He's a trooper. Love that guy. Ralph, the movie maker, I had to get through Alex, I Hate Everything, because he doesn't have any info public or anything. So I was like, hey, Alex, can you do me a favor and get Ralph on? Pan Pizza, Rebel Taxi, I just got him on Discord. So that one was easy. I'm trying to think, who else was there? Quentin. I haven't mentioned Quentin this whole time. Quentin's going through some controversies and stuff now, but Quentin, he's a nice guy. He contacted me that he likes my videos and stuff like that, and I was like, oh cool, I know who Quentin is. And so I was just like, hey, you want to be on the podcast? And he's like, yeah, sure. And that one was easy. So yeah, I think that's it for the non-LEGO YouTubers.
Did you find it easier to start getting people once you had a couple people already on, or did you find it even still, is it sort of
yeah, I don't think it didn't really make a difference to me, because it's just Your Movie Sucks and Rebel Taxi were my first non-LEGO YouTuber ones. Well, I guess Rebel Taxi was my first one ever, and they responded quickly. But the later on ones like Jaden and I Hate Everything took a while to respond. So
yeah, I know it's at least from the Meme Insider perspective. At the very very beginning when we first started, we somehow just out of dumb chance and luck happened to snag interviews with Ken Bone back when he was all over the news, the red sweater guy.
Yeah, of course.
And then and then Anthony Fantano. So we got both of them just out of dumb luck. And from that, it was people saw oh, you've done an interview with Anthony Fantano. Oh, you've done an interview with Ken Bone. Yeah, sure, I'll do one with you. Even though at the time it was just a random collection of people, but it helped us springboard to the next one. It was just a snowball that we weren't controlling, and we're like, all right, we'll roll with it.
Yeah, actually, funny you mentioned Anthony. I've messaged him a couple times, haven't gotten a response. I've been wanting to interview him too, and also Report of the Week. I've been trying to get Report of the Week. He is one of the dream ones to get. Can never get him. Also, there's Arlo. Do you know who Arlo is? He's a Nintendo YouTuber.
He's like Cookie Monster, but he talks about the Switch. I love that guy.
Yeah, for some reason I've been trying to get him forever. He never ever has responded to any of my asks to get an interview. So yeah.
Come on, Arlo. Maybe we'll reach out to him for it. We'll be like, come on, Arlo.
Exactly. I literally, he was one I really wanted, because he likes a lot of the same stuff I do. He jams out to Weird Al music. He likes Paper Mario. So much discussion there. But
yeah. This is an unrelated question, but has LEGO ever done a Nintendo set? Because if not, they need to. Now that I'm thinking about this.
Yeah. They've never done it. And trust me, so many of us want it to be done.
Yeah,
that would be my
Smash
dream
Bros.
license.
Smash Bros. Ultimate being out right now, could you imagine a set with just a Mario, Sonic, Link?
Yeah, dude, that would be a dream come true. For LEGO, there's been licenses I've wanted my whole life. There's 3. It was Toy Story, Simpsons, and Nintendo. And they did Toy Story in 2010. They did Simpsons in 2014. And Nintendo has never come. But yeah.
Do you think they will? I don't know too much about who LEGO is buddy with. But do you see that in the realm of possibility, or is that that'll never happen sort of thing?
I would say that would never happen because it hasn't happened now, but this year they did Overwatch, which is another video game. Well, you know what Overwatch is, of course. And
Right.
that's by Blizzard. So I'm like, okay, now they just got to do Nintendo. Like, maybe they're judging to see how these sell, to see if they're ready to invest in Nintendo. And they have this thing called Lego Ideas where you could vote for Lego set projects and stuff like that. And Legend of Zelda has gotten like 5 projects reach 10,000 votes, which is what you need to get for Lego to consider it.
Okay.
And every time they've denied it. And
Wow.
I think it's because they don't, just one reason is they just don't want to make a new piece for Link's hair hat combo. That's
Right.
the only thing holding them back, I think, because they've denied it every time. But I just don't know. I mean, I want it to happen, but
Was
so far,
Overwatch
nothing.
able to be made with all existing pieces or molds?
That's the thing. No, with Overwatch, it wasn't from Lego Ideas, so they could do Lego Ideas. One of the rules is that you cannot make any new pieces in the sets.
Okay.
But with Overwatch, it was just a regular product line, so it wasn't through Lego Ideas. So they just used so many new pieces. So I'm just like, they should just go through with Zelda and Mario.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
like, you don't
with
even
Breath
have to do anything else. Just do one Mario, one Zelda, and I'm fine. But yeah.
With Breath of the Wild, would you even need a cap? I mean, people would
That's
want
the thing.
cap. But
Yeah, you wouldn't need a cap. So I don't know. I mean, it might happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
we got to do another Lego Ideas project.
is that
We'll
so?
see
Do
what
they
that
have
goes.
like an official ballot up where? Because I'm familiar with Nintendo. I know for Smash Bros. They had a ballot. It didn't mean that they would
Mm-hmm.
pick them. Does Lego have something similar where people are like, please make this?
Yeah, it's LegoIdeas.com
Lego Ideas.
where I think it's LegoIdeas.com where you submit the project and basically people vote. And if it reaches 10,000 voters, Lego will consider it as a project. And then they have these extravagant videos where they have review phases and they're like, these sets passed and these sets haven't. That's how we got like a Lego Tron set recently. A lot of independent ideas, but yeah, it's hopefully it works out, but we'll see.
Yeah. What are the that's just interesting. What are the reoccurring ones that get up on that ballot but haven't been made yet? Are there sort of like the usual suspects that end up
Yeah.
on there?
I think the only one is Zelda. Like the
Okay.
only one, because you got to make a project. So we had I think we had a Wind Waker Legend of Zelda set. We had like 2 Ocarina of Time ones, and I think a Twilight Princess one or something like that, and some other one too. Because there's just been so many Legend of Zelda ones. But that's it. I mean, other than that, I don't think there's any ideas that have been submitted twice that have been denied. The only one has been Legend of Zelda, which shows a lot. I mean, it shows that fans want a Legend of Zelda set. And if Lego does Legend of Zelda, they could do Mario too. Like, it's because Mario's even more popular than Zelda, and Zelda's extremely popular. Like, they're just sitting on money. It's just that Lego is very old-fashioned, so I don't know if they know what is popular in the video game world. I mean, they did Minecraft and Overwatch, which were like revolutionary for Lego.
That's true.
But I mean, Mario and Zelda are way more iconic than both of those. Like, I know it's a meme, but like if they made Lego Fortnite sets, they'd make a fortune. And I still play Fortnite, so like I would love it. But yeah,
You have a video on you made like a sketch up sort of like the CMF series of how you would imagine it going. Right?
Yeah, we've done a few of those for Overwatch for Fortnite, and yeah, that's super cool because I want Lego to make it. Like it's genuinely me just wanting them to do it. But
Yeah. And to have any of those videos you've made where you're like, here's something that would be cool. Has Lego ever not done like exactly what you said, but you're like, hey, a set with such and such license would be cool, and then like 2 years later, Lego does it? Has that ever happened?
I
You ever
wish,
made the prediction?
but I started the CMF draft, the sketch one, in March of 2018. So
Okay,
the series.
not enough time.
Well, I started it technically last December with one Nintendo one, but like that one wasn't sketched up. But yeah, so it's too early to tell. Maybe in the future we will see. What did happen? I don't know if you saw this. Was that Lego, a ripoff, a Chinese knockoff company copied our Fortnite designs.
Oh,
And-
and actually tried to sell them?
Yeah, and
Oh, that's
you could.
fascinating.
Yeah, they're selling them. I think they're selling them online. They're selling them on the street. But yeah, it's crazy because those are our designs.
Would you consider buying those and reviewing them? I know people right now are buying like the Soldier Boy consoles, even though it's an obvious
Right.
scam, just to review. Would you buy fake Legos?
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever want to buy fake Lego, but for that, I think I might have to just buy it to review it because it's our designs, you know? It's like crazy.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that. That is, I'm very curious. I hope you make that video. I'll be the first person to view and give you that thumbs up if that video comes out.
Yeah, no, yeah, we'll see. It probably will happen because my artist is coming to visit me sometime next year, so we'll probably do it then and just do like a collaborative review or something like that.
Awesome. And now, I guess this is sort of actually just naturally leading into some of the submitted questions that we have. So I guess I'll ask you some of those. Kim Jong Nuke from Patreon asks us, what's your favorite family of Lego sets?
For sure, the Lego minifigures line, because the Lego minifigures line, specifically like the collectible ones, the CMFs, you know, that they not only have they captured all my favorite properties in Lego, like they had a Lego Simpsons one, they had a Lego Disney one with Toy Story. They're just so fun. They're $4 packets, and you don't know which one's inside unless you feel the pack up. And I think they release 3 a year. So those are super fun to play and get, because minifigures are my favorite thing of Lego. I love customizing figures, but
Same.
I also like the Lego Toy Story and Lego Simpsons lines. I like the Lego Adventurers line from back in the day. Lego City has its ups and downs. Lego Star Wars has its ups and downs.
Well, how were the...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Oh, okay. I know there's a Lego Incredibles sets released, right? How are those? Because The Incredibles is probably like one of my favorite movies ever, and probably one of the only movies I would consider buying merchandise from. Were those worthwhile?
Well, there was 3, and unfortunately they made them part of the Juniors line, which Juniors sets they're very simple. They use big pieces. But I mean, there's altogether they're $60 altogether. So just 3 sets. One's, I think, one's, oh wait, maybe it's $70 altogether, because I think 2 are 20 or one's 25 or something. I don't know, but they're very cheap, and the builds aren't really that good, but the minifigures are super detailed, so yeah, might as well get them.
Yeah, I've considered it. Let's see, Sesame asked us a question I think we've already answered. It says, what's a Lego set you'd like to see added? It seems like that's Fortnite and Nintendo right now, right?
Yep. Yeah, definitely right now, yeah.
And then let's see, one of our writers for the magazine, Fat Clowns, he wrote in, boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
Boxers? What about boxer briefs?
What are boxer briefs? What specifically is a boxer brief?
Have you never seen those? Oh, it's like...
Well, what's the difference between that and a boxer? I'm not really a clothes guy.
Oh, I think boxers are just like real loose.
Okay.
And boxer briefs are just tighter. They're like briefs, but they've got little legs. Like half legs. I don't even know what you call them.
I see them boxers still. I like them loose, you know, I guess. Great kid channel.
Let's see here. Yeah. Another writer of ours, Lucky Cosmos, he writes, which Bionicle is the strongest and why is it Toa Kopaka?
Yeah, when I was younger, I loved Bionicle. I'm trying to think, there was Gally, Lua. Gally was like the water one. Lua was the jungle one. So I don't know. What were the other ones? I forgot. I can't do it because I don't remember the names, unfortunately, so I can't answer that one.
The lores escaped you.
Yeah.
they tried to bring back Bionicle, right? If I remember correctly, It didn't go over well, but
it didn't, unfortunately. Like they brought them back in 2015, and they only lasted for, what was it, 2015, 2016? I don't even think 2017. Maybe was it 2017? I don't remember, but it lasted for a very short time, unfortunately.
Yeah. Let's see. Fat Clown's our same writer again that asked us boxers or briefs. He writes again. Have you ever swallowed or accidentally inserted, such as into the nostril ear, a Lego piece? And if so, how old were you and how would you rate the experience?
Never. What the heck? I've never done that. That's
never swallowed a Lego? What about stepped on a Lego? I feel like
I think we all have. Yeah, right? The meme. Yeah, I mean, I have. Thankfully, nothing super painful. I've had people break Lego, like my Lego minifigures, because they stepped on it, and I'm like, come on, like, chip the piece. That ticked me off.
Have you ever had anything from your like collection broken that was valuable?
That was valuable. I mean, recently I broke like $170 Star Destroyer, the finalizer from The Last Jedi, and yeah, but that was really it. I mean, everything else I've broken on my own accords, you know.
All right, yeah. And then we've got one last Patreon question. Then after that, I've got one more extra bonus question. So the last Patreon question is: are you looking forward to the Lego Movie 2?
Yeah, for sure. The trailers have been pretty good, but the sets are like the play sets are really good, and I want to see more of them. So if the movie sucks, at least the toys will be good.
Yeah. Did you like the first one? I'm gonna guess yes.
Yeah, that's my favorite movie with like Toy Story 1 and 2. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that was a great movie. Actually, the directors of that also directed the new animated Spider-Man that's out, right?
Well,
Chris Lord
they
and Phil Miller? Or
they
Phil Lord and Chris
wrote.
Miller?
I think one of them wrote the animated Spider-Man, and they produced it. They didn't direct it.
Oh, okay.
But
I haven't
yeah,
seen
they
that yet.
did have a lot of involvement. That's a great movie too. But yeah.
Nice. And then I have one last question for you, and it might be a familiar one to you because it's what you end most of your podcasts with. Have you ever had a near-death experience?
Man, plagiarism. No. Yeah, I've had one where, like, I was really young, and I think my mom was on vacation, so I was probably with my dad just watching over me for that day. We were at some family member's house, and I fell into the pool, and I tried getting up, and I was under a float, so I was freaking out. I was like maybe 3 or something, very, very young. That was probably the closest near-death experience I've had. But other than that, I don't think I've had any other near-death experiences.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I wanted to see you keep making YouTube videos till the end of time.
Exactly. Yeah, don't worry. I will.
All right, so
But, yeah.
that's pretty much gone through everything we've had on the agenda for today. Is there anything else you want to plug or say before we head out here?
Thank you for having me on. Check me out at youtube.com/Just2Good. And yeah, that's really it.
All right, Just2Good, thanks for joining us today. On our next episode, we're going to have voiceover Pete, so make sure you join us for that.
Oh, that's a cool one. Oh.
Yes, I'm excited. That's going on. I'm recording it tomorrow. I don't know when it'll be out, but I'm recording
That's
that
awesome.
one tomorrow. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode.